Hey everyone, welcome to Opal Oracle. For those of you who are new, welcome, as well as the people that are already joined the journey, found one another, you know. My name's Raaji. Thanks for being here. Now, Scorpio. There's like so much that the cards want to say to you. It happened last month, and it happened in September, and it happened this mid-month. So I did a different spread. I want to see, of course, some of the messages came about similarly. Basically, I broke it down into work, love, creative realms, and then your spirituality. Overall, of course, will it have to do with spirituality overall? Of course it will. Of course it will. That's what we have to seek in life. You know, because really, if we just look at the truth of the matter, like, really clearly, about the dark forces, like, within our worlds, it's heavy, you know? Like, the majority of people come from a divorced family. Nobody really knows where they're going because we're not directing, we're not giving humans direction as children towards their actual inner passions, to what they were made for, you know? We hand our children over to institutional learning facilities by the age of what, 5? You start going to a babysitter, maybe 2, if not 6 months. It's like where you were as a child is so crucial to where you are as an adult, and the only way to get out of the loop of it is to really seek that truth, you know? Sometimes, yeah, again, is the truth heavy? Yup. Do we really have to, because we can't change the fate of the world, right? Now, don't get me wrong when I say that. I'm not saying be a pacifist. I'm not saying be a sheep by any means, you know, but nor should you be selfish or find your existence any more important than any other thing, human or otherwise. Because those two realms are just like, it's never going to work. But the truth of the matter is okay, in ways of work, basically you feel tied to something. You feel really stuck. Like, and you feel like you want it to bring you something, but it's some kind of thing that it doesn't matter. Even when you get it, you're not satisfied. It goes right back to September, but that may just be an overall message, but it's in your work sector particularly. But now, work and career is right above creativity. In your creative sector, you have the 7 of Cups, which is about illusions. This isn't... I just keep seeing these children that are idealizing their parents. And there is something about Scorpio. I was doing some research, like, in ways of Scorpio and your family dynamic and what that all means in relation to Pluto and who you are, which obviously all of us are individuals in a sense, but there's something, you know, connective about that. It's there's idealizing, it causes you to not trust people. But you only don't trust people because you don't trust yourself and who you surround yourself with. And if you're not really surrounding yourself with anything, it's about the choices you make independently. Because there's good fortune in looking at the truth of the matter and taking this sword and being like, well, excuse me, I don't need this devil in my life anymore. I want to know what this means. I want to know how this affects me. I want to know how since childhood I've been letting this dude hold the reins of my life. Why is that? You know, and it shows me that you still don't know. But that's also why you're unlucky in love. Together or not. Like, in the way that you don't feel stable in it. You don't feel victorious even when you have it. It's like, even when you have that one element within your life, there's still all these other sections that are just like muddy. But what's, in addition, not but in addition, in your spirituality sector, you have the Knight of Pentacles and hope. It's really good, but this is a really slow process. It's a longer process. And what's above this hope? Unexpected, like, good luck. You know, it's basically like it's the fortune card. And this is kind of temperance in a way. You know, that's beautiful. But you have to go down the line. It's like you have to go into the basement to figure out what all this is so that your journey can commence. Because right now, your horse is doing this in your life. You know? Moving forward, moving too fast, and this is your spiritual advice, like this is the future. Much different. Much different. Someone's going to call you out about your lack of peace within yourself. You might feel like I'm doing that to you right now, so I guess you could think that that was me, but obviously this is about also your realm, and I'm not doing that. I want the best for you, but the thing is like, I could give you all the advice and whatever Spirit wants me to tell you, but only you can make those decisions. You know, you can watch every tarot reader you can find. You can read every book that you want. You can speak of high-minded consciousness and all these elements of spirituality, but unless you believe it in yourself and unless you recognize what your own demons are, that smile on your face is fake. You know, it's this. Like, I got all these cups. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. But these cups are like filled with, excuse my French, but it's all shit. It's not even real. It's like someone handing you a shit sandwich. It's like every time that we have a political event, especially a presidential one in this country, and people get so up in arms about who they're voting for, Bernie, whatever. People with their Clinton things because they hate Trump, so they have to pick Hillary. It's like, even Bernie Sanders is on that same team. We have to recognize the truth of the matter, the bigger aspects of life that are affecting our higher elevation as people. There are outside forces that are bigger, or make it seem like they're bigger than what we are. Like, I was doing some research on the internet, and just about some different things that, like, I don't know, the WTO's doing, and like, just certain agendas that the United Nations, which is absolutely the opposite, although I think it's cool they have a flat earth map. But it's like, I was doing this research, sorry, I got all wrapped up into that, but I came across, in addition, I came across this YouTube video, it was a Russian one, and it showed this really weird image, so I wanted to see what it was, and I clicked on it, and it was basically this person that was like transforming like an 80-year-old grandma to look like a Hollywood 19-year-old Barbie doll. You know, that's some devil work when we're only fueled by sex and drugs and food. You know, that's what being pretty is. That's what having all the money is. That's what, whatever, all that. Physicality. How would you pick your mate if you were blind? How would you pick your friends? How would you pick your job? It all goes back to vibration, and we've been tricked for so long, Scorpio, and I feel like because you have Pluto, and it's the longest transitioning wandering star that we see and then don't see for like 30, what is it, usually like 30 years, something like that, and it fluctuates. You can't put a pin on Pluto, on like what it does, a definition. Every other sign, the astronomers from, you know, from the beyond the Greeks, like prior, you can't put a pin on Pluto. And then they took away your identity in a way, which is also another trick. And there's a lot of trickery going on in this life, okay? And you have to recognize where you're being tricked, whether that's from yourself or from external forces that relate back to what you believe that you deserve. And then that all goes back to your childhood. And particularly what you're connected to, because a marriage of something, it doesn't even have to be a bride and a groom. A marriage of something is a contract. There's a vow. But like I take a vow of silence once a month. You know, a vow is your word. It's how you build trust, by doing what you say, by understanding that like who you really are. And yes, it's not easy to look at our lives, but like if you want to grow, it's cool. Like you're not at the page, you know, the page is someone who has the idea, right? You're thinking about it in a way. This person's actually starting to implement the idea. This is like the artist. They take up this pentacle and then start moving it along. You know, there's momentum in there, but it's very, very, very slow. And it's because this sword wants you, this sword is here in your love to be both of course, love of yourself. Like this knight doesn't want you to go too fast, because it can't go too fast. I just saw like a bunch of thickets, you know, in the woods. Like you're going along in a path and all of a sudden it's like pokey and sharp and darker and quiet, and you don't know, you can't just run a horse through that. You know, you want to get rid of all whatever this codependency, addiction, negative behavior, repetitious patterning of your life that not only comes from your choices as an adult, but also, like I was saying, about your upbringing, whether that would be your parents or your babysitter or your teachers, wherever you were being programmed. Okay? Because it's not, You know, people can talk about the end of days. People can talk about the world going to shit and like, oh, that's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. No, it doesn't have to be that way. The system isn't broken. It was built to be like that. They want us to live in fear so that we never figure out our higher vibration and actually love ourselves. And in the sense, not conceited, like, I love me. Because we do that right now in this society too, very much. Look at Instagram, Facebook, all this stuff. It's like me, 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 me. iPhone, iPad, iHome. How about real things like, I'm really impatient and sometimes I feel like I suck. You know? I'm judgmental. I'm a liar. That happens. It takes a lot to be honest with that kind of stuff. But you can, and you want to. Jupiter is coming, Scorpio. You don't want to play around and get yourself caught up when you have the possibility to expand and really clear the air of yourself, lighten your load energetically, and then expand positively. It's really cool. We have the opportunity. And yes, will there be days where we're like, man, this is a lot. You know, so I guess in short, you're going to be struggling with your own demons during this time. Your family's probably going to be affecting your work. For some of you, like, your relationship's okay if you have one. But there's a need to look at it, look at the truth of the matter within it. I mean, overall, the truth is very important because I see you wasting creative energy on unnecessary with unnecessary choices. Okay? You know, because the ace is a blessing, too. It's a choice to pick up that sword and to swing it appropriately. Because at first, yeah, swords are heavy. They can hurt. You can hurt others. You can hurt yourself. You can separate yourself and separate others, other situations. But then the thing is like, once you figure out the truth of the matter, you can use that sword to protect you because you understand what the reality is. And in truth, there's never anything to be afraid of. What's going to happen? We're going to die. That's all we're ever desiring anyway, the destination. That's all the destination is. The ultimate goal of this life is to die. So enjoy it while you can. Figure it out while you can so your life can be easier, so it can be happier, so your inner child can feel like it's playing and not live in the past of those expectations you had of your parents. Because it's affecting you overall. And it's unnecessary. I don't want that for you. And I believe that you don't want it for yourself either. But you have to be the one. You have to be the one, Scorpio, to pick this up and to decide that for you. And I know, for a mid-month reading, is this a little much? Sure. But also no. Because that's what life is. Sometimes all we need to do... I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to quit smoking. You know, change. It's hard. I've been smoking since like 20-something years. It's a long time. I just heard the Led Zeppelin song. Been this way 10 years to the day. You know, what are you doing now that you did 10 years ago? And is it actually fulfilling you? Why are you doing it? If the answers are yes, and vibrationally it feels good to you, you don't get any like gut feelings about it that make you feel nervous or scared or what have you, then go with it. Continue. But if it feels otherwise, there's a need to assess it. It'll make it easier. Your birth month is coming. Jupiter is coming. So Jump on the train, man. There's a lot of people that are really opening their eyes. Look how big tarot is. I bet you follow all kinds of people. And I don't like that word follow. But I bet you have found lots of people that you resonate with that you've never even met. Isn't that fascinating? You know, you got to think about the positive in life. Make the positive choices. And it's not about ignoring the negative either. I just want to clarify that. I don't want you to walk through life with this fake smile on your face. Because like I said last month, or in September, like, you can fake the funk. But anybody who actually gives a shit about you will be able to sense that you're not having a good one. You know, if they actually care. And I think that's also, I know that this is also what this sword is about. Just figuring out what it is and then being like, well, screw it. I don't care what happened in the past. I don't care what happened with my ex. I no longer, actually I'll take that back, because when we say I don't care about my ex, I don't care about, you're actually saying you do care, and that's why you're talking about it. It's like when you go to date somebody in the first date and they start talking about their ex, it's like, red flag, get out of there, which I will say for some of you, you should be cautious of that during this time, but like, you know, it's more about just saying to yourself, well, that happened, and here I am. Now what am I going to do? Which way would I like to go? Alright. I guess that's that. I'll see you in October, okay?